TIFU by not offering my seat to a heavily pregnant woman. I've been cringing a lot about this lately. Again, this didn't happen today. It was a few years ago. Once, I was on a packed train, sitting on a little fold-out seat. At one point, a woman stood in front of me. I noticed her, but only her presence. She seemed annoyed at something. But since I'm a paranoid person, I sort of put it down to my social anxiety. Everything was normal until she turned slightly to the side. Right at the end of the journey. She was heavily pregnant, but only forwards. Her pregnancy was entirely undetectable from the front. Everyone in the carriage must have thought I was an absolute dick. The minute I noticed, I profusely apologized, explained and offered my seat. But by then it was way too late. I feel awful about it even now. TLDR. I didn't offer my seat to a heavily pregnant woman because she was very slim looking from the front. And I didn't notice she was pregnant until the end of a train journey. I still feel awful even today. If other people in the carriage noticed, then they should have offered her a seat. Honestly, when I'm out in public, I really don't notice much about the people around me other than where they are located in my area. Oof. I understand how this made you feel. Please, don't keep blaming yourself though. No one but you probably remembers. You're dwelling and you don't need to. Forgive yourself and take solace knowing you'll do better next time. If she wanted the seat, she should have asked for it instead of being passive-aggressive. I was a pregnant woman a few years ago on a train. And a similar thing happened. 3 people directly in front of me did not offer their seat. Nor did anyone else. About 10 minutes into the ride, a man from further down the car came and offered me his seat, which then prompted everyone to look up and realize. People apologized profusely and I got a seat. At the time, I was a bit annoyed because I had observed this happening more regularly than I thought it would. People conveniently don't see you and wait for someone else to offer. But after nearly fainting while in the train, I also learned to speak up and ask if I needed the seat. People have their own stuff going on, and it was not fair to assume they were intentionally ignoring me. The good news is you probably are more observant now. And at the end of the day, this woman could have asked too. She has probably forgotten all about it. Or it's not a big deal to her anymore. Let it go, you'll be lighter for it. If she didn't ask or it wasn't extremely obvious, then I'm not offering my seat. I'm not about to get in a fight with some woman for assuming she's pregnant when she is just fat. I mean, why your seat? Why not someone else? You're not obligated to be polite, and it's also none of their business as to why you didn't offer. You didn't notice she was preggers and she didn't ask to sit down. Not your fault or even AF up. Okay, but imagine if you offered your seat on the grounds of her being pregnant, and she wasn't. Believe it or not, you actually gave her a compliment. BCUZ. It was only when you caught a side view did you notice she was pregnant, and heavily pregnant at that. Had that happen only with one of my pregnancies, but it always made my day. She may have been annoyed at that moment, but later if she gave it any thought, I'm sure you made her day. No FK up here. Nothing cringy or to feel bad about. It's all about perspective. Thumbs up. Medium skin tone. Why did no one else offer if they thought you were a dick? You didn't know. If they knew, then they should have offered. If this is the worst thing you do in your life, then you will have lived a good life. Learn and move on. Why just you? Are other people blind? Are the rest of the carriage riders also pregnant? Pregnante, crippled, disabled, elderly, or young kids? The fact that you gave up your seat while the rest of them sat there staring at you should be embarrassing for them. They could have done it too. Why should it have been you? She could have spoke up. Also, for all she and everyone else knew, you could have a condition that means you stand even worse than an overdue pregnant woman. Being pregnant does not affect her ability to speak. If she was having a hard time standing, then she should have asked if she could have your seat. Being a reasonable person, you would have said, "Of course," and then she would have thanked you and the world would keep spinning. No one is thinking about that moment except you anymore. She should have asked. Many people of all ages have invisible disabilities and need a seat. No one should be judged for not getting up. Prego lady. TIFU by being passive-aggressive instead of properly asking for a seat like a civilized person. Pregnant woman here. You didn't do anything wrong. Anyone could have given up their seat. She also could have asked. Either way, her passive-aggressiveness pisses me off. She's not entitled to a seat because she's pregnant. You were one of a carriage full of people that didn't get up and give her a seat.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. EpicAircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.